think I got my swagger back.
And hit him! Everywhere! Right now, baby! And welcome into the podcast, everybody. The Filthy Philistines podcast. We're back. It wasn't just a one-off. We're back. We got the post-draft episode. I'm really excited to talk about all things the drafts and all things week one. So today we're going to talk about some people's draft strategies. They had clear draft strategies last Friday. We're also going to be analyzing some of the best and worst picks of the draft. And also we're going to take a look at who has the scariest team as we enter in the Halloween season. And what I'm super excited about, one of my most excited about segments of all time, we're going to declare, everybody in the league is going to declare their rivals for 2024. How you feeling, Scumbag Matt?
Can we talk about the nickname? Because I'm not a fan of that.
What?
Scumbag
This
Matt?
is news to me. What?
I think I deserve better. I'll go with two-time champion Matt. I mean, that's pretty good. Pastor Matt could be a good one too. You know, like Scumbag. Nah, I'm not feeling that one. Anyways, we'll save the insults for later, I guess. But man, hey, what a draft! It was a great draft. First of all, clap for everybody. Get a hand clap in there. We'll put that in there. We got through a long draft in 24 hours, which I think is an accomplishment. So I'm pumped about that. Also, exciting draft. I believe there was 3 trades during the draft. You were on your phone all day talking, annoying people. Me and Sierra worked out a little trade when you sniped Kyler Murray from her. So it was a great draft. I'm excited. I'm excited to actually dive in to some strategies. If you would let me start off, is that cool with you?
Oh, I will let you, good sir. I will let you.
All right, well, let's talk about a guy who needs no introduction, and let's talk about a guy named Austin Tate, not Austin Ewells, but the better Austin in the league, Austin Tate. I think Austin drafted himself a solid team, and I mean solid team. But here's what I'll say he did. His strategy was getting some high floor guys. Consistency is the key for Tate this year. That's what I'm noticing. Here's what I see. I see Keenan Allen. What a consistent guy he's been for several years. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not the highest ceiling, right? But he's going to get 18, 20 points every time. James Cook, high floor guy. Bijan Robinson, Amari Cooper, Trey McBride. All not high ceiling, but high floor guys. So what I'm saying, Austin Tate, you know what he's playing for? He's playing for third place right now because that's what type of team he drafted. A solid third place team with some high floor guys. Not a championship team, a third place team.
Goodness gravy, man.
I'm coming in hot, man.
I guess I shouldn't have called you the SB, man. I'm just saying what the streets say, man. I'm just a messenger, but I was like, man, he's really hyping up Austin Tate here, and then that could be the most devastating blow of all time. High floor.
Oh, the elbow.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I'm gonna talk about my good buddy, old pal Tivich.
All right.
I could have guessed this just because I know something that you don't know about Tivich. Tivich loves the mayonnaise man. He loves the mayonnaise man, Will Levis. And Tivich went with a hero quarterback strategy in the 2-quarterback league. He started off with Josh Allen, who he loves, he adores. I knew Tivich was going to draft a white, whether it was CMC or Josh Allen at the 102. I mean, I would have bet my life on it, and he ended up with Josh Allen because CMC went 101. And then he didn't draft another quarterback technically till the 13th round. I know he has Will Levis in the 11th, but you know, picking up guys like Puka, who fell, that's one of the best picks of the draft, and we might talk about that later, but Puka falling to him, he got to just pick up some really solid, high-floor running backs like you talked about with Austin Tate, and then Dalton Kincaid in the 7th round. I think the hero quarterback definitely, I think it paid off really well for him if he is correct on Will Levis, and also him snagging a veteran quarterback like Geno in case Will Levis does stink, because he kind of does. He really might stink. I like Will Levis, but he might stink. So Tivich going with a hero quarterback strategy. And do we have any other draft strats before we move on?
For sure. Quick comment on Tivich. I feel like Tivich always has a solid draft. He's been in the league, 2-3 years now?
Third year.
I've been in a couple other leagues with him. Well, here's what I noticed about Tivich. always a solid draft, but there's always at least 1-2 picks that just kind of makes you turn your head and be like, you sure about that? You sure about that? But whatever. We'll talk more about that later. The other strategy I saw that was clearly at play was the other Austin, the loser bracket winner Austin, the resident loser bracket fella, Austin Mules. He employed the 0 RB strategy this season. Going with his first running back pick was the 7.4 in Najee Harris. And then follow it up at the 10-10 with Jerome Ford. Grabbed Jonathan Brooks. Hopefully he's going to come back and earn a starting job. Grabbed some guys at the end to see what happens. But he stacked his team with some receivers and some solid quarterbacks and a solid tight end, best tight end on the board. So you decided to wait on RB. What was the thought? Was that your plan going in, or did you just that just kind of happened?
And this is a great transition to the next segment. No one cares about this, but I genuinely have not talked to Matt after this draft. So we're actually just going to do some quick 30-second thoughts on our own team. And Matt, you asked a question about my team. I didn't have a draft strategy coming in. I tend to overthink the draft, so I just let the draft come to me. So I drafted Patrick Mahomes at the 107. I did a few mocks. I didn't mock Patrick Mahomes on my team a single time, but he fell to me at the 107. I'm like, wow, oh, all right, I guess I have to do that. And then I wanted Marv, and I was like, well, what the heck? What if I trade up and get Kyler and then do a stack? And then after that, Travis kept falling and falling and falling. So I said, what the heck? What if I go up and trade up for Travis and have a double stack? It's just how the draft went. I like Najee. I like Jerome Ford. This is probably one of the worst teams I've drafted all season now that I'm a few days removed. But time will tell. Time will tell. What are your thoughts on your own team, though?
I'm feeling good about my own team. I did have a draft strategy. And this year, my draft strategy is simple. I'm playing to win. I'm playing to win. And this is the reason why I came down hard on Tate. Because I feel like I typically draft like Tate. I'm looking for high floor guys, right? Guys who aren't going to lose it for me, who I can depend on each and every week, but might not win the week for me. And this year I said, you know what? I'm playing for first place. I want high floor guys. I want guys who 5 times a week, 5 times a year will put up a top 3 running back score or a top one QB score. So I feel like I got some of those players with Hurts, Jacobs, Pickens. He does that every once in a while. He might have some bust weeks, but he does that. George Kittle's have some bust weeks, but he also has usually 4 or 5 tight end 1 weeks as well. So I'm playing to win. Devon Achane, the big dog with the big ceiling. That's who I'm going for. That's what I'm playing to win, Austin. I'm not trying to get second place. Because here's the thing about low floor guys. Here's the thing about high floor guys. High floor teams are 1 to 2 injuries away from missing the playoffs every time because they don't have that ceiling to make and bring your team over the top. So I'm playing to win. That's my strategy. I'm proud of it. I like my team. What's good?
I'm happy that you're proud. I'm happy that you're proud. Let's dive into everybody. The best and worst picks of the draft. Let's start positive. There's been a lot of negativity.
I feel like,
this draft.
I agree.
There's been a lot of negativity. Matt, what are some of the best picks, or maybe just one pick that you saw from this draft?
I'm gonna give props where props. The champion Sierra. I couldn't believe this person was on the board. I couldn't believe, and he's an old name, but DeAndre Hopkins. We know what he is. He's been around for so long. But the 13 pick 3, DeAndre Hopkins, the wide receiver 22 last year. Titans offense probably going to be better. He's looking healthy. He should not have dropped that far. A guy who probably will be in her lineup every single week and will be a flex play at least, if not a wide receiver too. I think DeAndre Hopkins was a steal at that. I think we were foolish to let him go so far. So props to Sierra. Also props to you too. You picked a guy who gets a lot of hate all the time. Hate for the last 2 or 3 years, but Kyle Pitts at the 11.7. When other tight ends were taken around the 8th round, 7th round, you didn't even wait. You just saw the value. You had Travis Kelce, and you said, Kyle Pitts is still here at the 11th round. I got to take him. So I love that pick. I thought it was great. Whether it works out for you, whether he is a beast or whether he is a trade bait, whatever he is, I thought it was a solid pick at round 11.
I appreciate that. And my theme for the best picks of the draft, Bills. And I'm one of the biggest Josh Allen haters you'll come across. I just don't. I think he has such raw talent, but I think his vision as a quarterback is not that stellar. But with that being said, Tate drafting Keon Coleman at the 10:05 and Dalton Kincaid going to Tivich at the 7:02. I think those are insane values for one of the best quarterbacks in real life, best quarterbacks in fantasy. Either one of those guys can be the number one target for one of the highest touchdown throwers in the league. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Keon Coleman in the 10th round, I know he's an unproven rookie, but there's a really good chance he can be the number one target. And then Dalton Kincaid, a tight end, when there's really so much uncertainty at the tight end position each and every year in the 7th round, I swear to you, I was going to draft Dalton Kincaid in the 4th round, the 4:04. Dalton Kincaid was going to be on my team. I don't draft him. I get Kelsey, and he falls all the way to the 7:02. That blows my mind. So big ups to Tate, big ups to Tivich getting some of those Bills players. And I'm just going to drop the hammer. We got to talk about some of these worst picks, Mac. And Big Al, one of my favorite fellows in the league. But you got Rashee Rice on the team.
Not anymore.
And then yeah. Wait, did he trade him?
He gone.
He traded him.
Tivich has him.
Oh, okay. Well, let me still say this, and I'll say this is not a worst pick because maybe he thought Rashee Rice was going to be on the way anyway. So he drafts Xavier Worthy at 7:10, maybe knowing that he was going to trade away Rashee Rice. So maybe he's a genius. Maybe this might end up being the best pick. So anyway, well, let me transition to a pick that hasn't been traded yet. Caleb Williams going to Tim Bullard at the 2:10. I just got to say, like, it's really not that bad. I couldn't really find a horrible pick on the draft board, but I'm just thinking Caleb Williams at the 2:10, he would have been there in Tim Bullard's 4th round pick. I almost would have guaranteed, but I like the weapons they surrounded Caleb Williams around, but picking him at the 2:10 and a keeper, I don't know. It's a tough thing for me. I don't want to speak too much on it because he is set up for success. He really could be a guy, but at the 2:10, that's just so risky.
I don't know. The Bears are saying we got to be patient with Caleb. We got to be patient. I don't know. I think there's 2 other Bears fans in the league. He might have went. I think it's a bad pick. I think he thought he had to pick quarterback. He saw 3 quarterbacks go off the board: Prescott, Kyler Murray, Richardson, and he was thinking, I better make a pick. I only have. I think he had to wait 20 picks after the 2:10 before his next pick. So I think he was stuck, but I do think that was a bad pick, in my opinion. Let me move on. Some more bad picks. We'll start with my friend, my dear friend Logan Tomanovich. Like I said, he had a great draft, but the pick that I saw that I was just like, are you sure about that? Was Jameson Williams in the 902. Where is this guy at? Jameson Williams, 902. This is a receiver who has done absolutely nothing. Like, done nothing in his career. And he took him before Adunze, before Christian Watson, before Keenan Allen. You have Deontay Johnson. You have other rookies who I think have just a better shot, the same amount of draft capital, who are on the board. Like, you had plenty of other options at wide receiver. But I believe he's a Lions fan. Is that right?
Yes, he is.
It's just like, you letting that Detroit fandom, that Lion pride run your team. It's not a good draft strategy. I feel like there's lots of other players. I feel like he could have fell probably a couple rounds more, probably to the 12th round at least, with how some of the other players are. And then also my least favorite pick of the draft. I'm sorry to be hateful, man, but you, my bud, my friend, Marvin Harrison Jr. at the 204? The 204. And here's my problem. Listen. Let's pretend Marvin Harrison Jr.'s name is Malik Neighbors. Where is he going at? Or what if his name was Keon Coleman? Like, I feel like you just paid for a name. You paid for a name, and here's the problem. Because you think, hey, he's got high ceiling. He could be the best rookie wide receiver ever. The only problem is you passed up on the best rookie wide receiver ever in Puka Nacua. 5 picks later, you could have had literally the best rookie pick, the best rookie wide receiver in the history of the league, but you passed him up for a rookie who hasn't played a single pick. You love those young boys, and it came after you again. Oh, my word. He's blushing right now. You should see his face, y'all. He's got the reddest face. He looks like a Coke can right now.
I don't have the red face because I'm excited. I can't wait for you to stop talking because I want someone to clip this. These 2 things you said, because the Jameson Williams pick, I'm glad I didn't say anything about it. But in a few months, this could come up in the sleeper chat. You saying that Jameson Williams was a terrible pick. He can blow up in your face. And Marvin Harrison Jr., I've watched so much film on that guy. I mean, and just seeing the way he carries himself, I think he's going to be a guy, and I really want to.
Are you saying he's a locker room guy? He's a good locker room guy, or
I'm not going to say he's a good locker room guy. I don't know how he is in the locker room. I'm just saying he
carries himself.
The way he carries himself as a professional. Have you seen his routine? His coaches had to say, Marvin, you need to train not harder. You need to slow down your training.
Yeah.
How often do you hear that in the NFL? So anyway, I knew I wanted Kyler Murray, and I thought, I think I'm going to be able to trade with somebody to get Kyler. And if I can get Kyler and Marvin, that's going to be so much fun. So anyway, that's about that. Matt, we got to get spooky. The Halloween season is one of my favorite seasons in the world because there's only a few seasons in the world. But anyway, the Halloween season's so great. We got to talk about the scariest teams. And I'm going to jump it off. I feel like this guy doesn't get a lot of love. And I don't want to give him a lot of love, but I really do. And I'm really scared of
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead. Landon's team.
Oh, dang.
Landon's team. And here's what's so scary about it. It's not like he has these crazy stud players. He just has a lot of good players. He has 2 solid quarterbacks. He has a solid star wide receiver. He has a stud tight end. And here's the scariest part of his team. He's got running back depth like nobody else in the league. He has Jahmyr Gibbs, Travis Etienne, Rashad White, Ramondre Stevenson, who I'm a big fan of this year. And then sitting on his bench, he has a guy named Trey Benson. If James Conner goes out, it's going to be very hard for Landon to not make it super far in this league. Because if he has all those running back depth, and then here comes Trey Benson, we're going to have a big problem in this league. So I'm going to cut myself off there. I'm not going to give him any more props. Matt, please talk about the scariest team. Please tell me that I'm wrong.
The scariest team for us is someone who has proven that they can go all the way to the championship and win it, unlike Landon Brooks. And that is my wife, the most beautiful person in the league by far, Sierra Porritt. She's got a strong team. She's got the best 2 wide receivers in the league. When Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, she's bringing those guys out every single week. She's also got 2 great quarterbacks in Anthony Richardson. I think that's great. Also, Brock Purdy doesn't get much love, but he was a quarterback 6 last year. He's still on that great offense with even more weapons. They just signed the great Trent Williams. They're going to be great again. Also, she's got running back depth, too. She's got Alvin Kamara as a keeper in this PPR league. He's going to dominate, probably 90 catches. He's got Ken Bone Walker going to the bone zone and going to be scoring a bunch of touchdowns there for Kenneth Walker. I love that team. She's also got some upside guys with Roma Dunze. I like that pick as well. And some solid guys, too. Again, Hopkins in the back, up and down. And even her keeper from last year, Raheem Mostert, absolute beast. He's going to have value, and if Achane goes down, automatic top 5 running back. I'm just saying, Sierra set herself up to make another great run to the championship, and scary team to me.
Absolutely. And I can't wait. I've been so excited all podcasters because I want to get to this segment so bad. We are declaring for each and every person in the league their arch nemesis? Who is their rival for the year? Matt, I'm going to start this thing off. Landon said his rival for 2024 is definitely Matt. 2 championship game losses, and we always have tight matchups in the regular season for some reason, is what he said. Matt, how does that make you feel? I will actually put you on the spot because you did get called out.
He played me in the championship?
He's claiming 2 championship game losses against you.
I don't remember that. But anyways, that's cool. Yeah, I appreciate that, Landon. That's nice. Logan, he's got one. Is it all right if I jump in too? Can I?
I love a back and forth.
Let's do it. Hey, Logan got one. I like it. So Logan, his rival is Scotty Too Hottie. That's his nickname, I'm guessing. He said, Scotty, because I beat him in every other league too. I love that too.
And I'm just going to jump in because right after Tivich, we have Scott. And this is just beautiful. So Tivich just said Scott because I beat him in every other league. Well, Scott said it would be Tivich. But to have a rivalry, it has to be a back and forth. But at this point, it's like taking money from a Make-A-Wish kid.
Woo! Dang.
So his pick is me. Because I traded with him and I took the players he wanted, left a bad taste in his mouth is what he said. It's because I got to pause. I know we're trying to get home, but Tivich is like, Scott's my rival. And then Scotty says, Tivich could be mine, but it's got to be a back and forth. That's just a beautiful thing. Take the next one, my man.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right. So Austin Tate, the best Austin in the league, said Landon is his rival because after discussing our draft strategy, he used it against me to snipe the guys I wanted. Austin, you can't be doing that. You can't let anybody know what your draft strat is. You gotta learn that
friends
lesson.
in the industry. No friends in the industry. Ooh, man. And I'm gonna hop over to Big Al. He's saying his rival is Scott Clinton. A lot of Scott Clinton love today because he's a Big Al is a big Bears fan, and Scotty has 3 Packers on his team. That's a pretty easy hate right there. You see 3 Packers, you're gonna get pretty angry if you're a Bears fan.
I love that. I love it that they haven't met, but they're rivals. I love it. All right, Sierra said Landon. Landon is her rival. He said he's got a lot to prove with the championship always seeming just out of reach, and she said I've got a lot to defend. Also, Landon isn't mean to me.
And here's a perfect example. Tyler's rival is Sierra because simply she's a doo-doo head.
Oh, man. Come on, Tyler. I love that, though. That's funny. That's hilarious. All right, Tim, he said his rival. Oh, man, Tim, come on. I just read this. Tivich sniped 3 of my targets. But we all know Matt is the supervillain of the league, and that's right. I'm all of your guys' rival. I'm every single person's rival, but y'all were too afraid to say it, so it's all good. Are you going to say yours?
I mean, I was so focused on everybody else's, I didn't really think of mine. Mine's going to come off the top of my head. I don't know, something about Tivich this year. I do have a problem with Tivich this year. He's just, Tivich and I, we were once great buddies. Screw you, man. Eat mud. Kick a rock with no shoes. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to say Tivich, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Gotcha. I thought about we both thought about Sierra because Sierra beat me in the championship, but she deserved it. I thought about Tivich, but I don't know Tivich enough, and I don't want bad blood with Tivich. I feel like that's a relationship that we can work on, but I would say the person that when I beat them, which I beat them often, is pure joy to me. It is you. When I beat you, it's so sweet, and I love it because I've gotten to have the sweetness so much, and I'm excited to get more of it. And the main reason is this guy gaslights me all the time. If you want to talk about the ultimate fantasy gaslighter, it is Austin Yules, the ultimate fantasy gaslighter. If you're trying to negotiate a trade with this fella, he just makes you feel like you are absolutely bonkers. And that's why me and Austin, I have made a trade with everyone else in this league, just fine and dandy, but me and Austin have only made one trade, and it got vetoed. So, Austin, you're my rival. And it is kind of like, I don't know, for me, I would say it's kind of like a Cowboys-Giants rival. Like, the Giants are a rival, but we beat them all the time. But I still love beating you. So that's kind of what it is.
Well, it sounds like I'm talking to someone that has their feelings hurt. Okay, I'm going to peel back the curtain. I know this is a long pod, but here's the trade conversation that Matt and I had. It's in a different league. I have Blake Corum in another league. In this league, I have a lot of running backs who are super safe. And then on my bench, I have Blake Corum waiting to explode. I want Blake Corum. I don't want to trade Blake Corum. Here comes Matt saying he wants Blake Corum from me. And I said, buddy, I'm sorry. I don't want to trade him. We can try to, make a deal. And he said, send me an offer that you would do. And I sent him an offer that I would do. And of course he said, oh my gosh, that's such a terrible offer. What? I cannot believe you sent me that offer. And I said, buddy, I'm sorry. You just told me to send you an offer that I would do for Blake Corum because I want Blake Corum. I didn't come texting you for Blake Corum. You came texting me for Blake Corum. So don't get mad at me, brother. Sorry.
That's one interpretation of what happened.
I
have the receipts. They're all on text messages. I can post the screenshots later.
Love it.
The version of the story, the true version of the story is quite a bit different. But it's all
the
right.
true version? You're calling me a liar? You're calling me a liar. That's exactly what happened.
Maybe the gist, but it was definitely embellished quite a bit. But it's all good. It's all good.
Oh, no. All right.
You're like cutting a promo on me or something. I don't know what's going on. And, Kendall Beck is I'm not a Kendall Beck believer.
He's lurking inside of me.
Jeez, yeah.
What?
Calm down. All right, hey, Austin, let's talk about a future matchup that you're excited to see. So this is week number 1. What are you excited to see in our league this week? What matchup are you looking at saying, ooh, that's going to tell me a lot about how the season's going to go for these guys?
I wouldn't say that. It's just I wouldn't put so much pressure on this matchup. It's just I'm excited to see the Tivich and Tyler Chance matchup this week, just because these two guys didn't have a lot of activity in terms of trading draft picks. I know there was a few teams that didn't have a lot of trading of draft picks, but these two teams specifically didn't have a lot of activity in the draft. They let the draft come to them. So I'm excited to see, all right, these two teams just kind of let the draft come to them. They didn't trade. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. They took players that they wanted to take. How is it going to land? It's not going to tell me a lot, but I just want to see who wins.
I love it. And there's not a particular matchup, but I'm excited to watch some real football. And I'm excited. I'm going to have my eyes glued on Friday night to the Green Bay versus the Eagles game. I got some Eagles fellas. I got Josh Jacobs, the new Green Bay Packer. I'm going to be excited to watch that game in Brazil and see the Packers dominate on the Eagles. So I love it. Hey, let us know. Let us know in the comment what matchup this week are you watching, whether fantasy matchup or real life football matchup. Let us know what game you're tuning into this week.
And now to our final segment of the episode of this long episode. A lot of tears have been shed on not my end, but Matt's end. But we gotta send it home the right way with some champ talk, some uninterrupted time with our 2023 champ. No disputing what's about to be said. The floor is yours.
What is up, filthy Philistines? It's the one and only, your girl, Sierra. Hey, I just want to say I'm so excited to be in a league with all of you knuckleheads. I'm excited to win another championship because I got this belt up on my shelf looking so pretty under the lights, and I just can't give it back. So good luck to everybody. You're going to need it, but I'm really looking forward to another season with y'all. Go Cowboys.
Can't dispute it, can't deny it. That's our respectful, lovely champ. I hope you guys have a wonderful or terrible week. I don't know. I can't decide things anymore, but you guys have a great week.
Have the week you
Can't
deserve.
wait to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Peace.